life under the laundry pile, airing it all out one conversation at a time. This is Copper.
This is Heather.
Hello, guys. Hello. That's about as deep and sexy as I get.
And that's kind of scary.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
And doesn't shave.
Hey, I shaved yesterday. I had a doctor's appointment, so.
That's just because they were going to be looking at your foot.
Exactly.
You're like, I have to shave from the ankle down.
Because it's hot, man. I had to wear shorts. I've got jeans on
I
today,
know.
but.
Landon saw you and he said, Miss Kappa's pants are super short. And I said, that's because they're short.
Shorts.
I thought that was funny. He noticed that.
Yes, that is funny. Coming from the boy that did he wear anything but gym shorts last week?
For spring break?
Yeah.
No, actually, I think he lived in, some days he had on pajama bottoms with no shirt.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, he frat boyed it up
He was
for that week.
living the life. Like
He
when I
was.
went over, I'm a little jealous of what he's accomplished this week. So
We had spring break last week. That's what we're talking about. And two of my girls, the two girls in the middle, went to Florida with my in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
And I was home with my son and my teenager. And, of course, she slept most of the day away.
Right.
And he vegetated most of the day away, eating he had a little hoarded pile over here on the coffee table of like wrappers and, sticks and all kinds of stuff. And he would just go from the couch from the couch to the refrigerator and back and forth the whole entire day.
But he had a great time. No regrets.
He did. We did go a couple of places. I had to drag him out of the house, but we did go a few places.
Right.
But that being said, spring break wasn't too terribly bad.
Excellent.
Did you did you see the funny thing that someone said about welcome to spring break? This is like it's something to do about this is how life really is. It's boring, or welcome to boring, or something like that. Or the boring everyday life. And I was like, that's kind of true. Either you go someplace or you don't.
Right.
And then you're just kind of stuck home. But
we had several plans kind of fall through. So we were supposed to go to California, and we decided not to do that because Matt wasn't sure about work. And then he thought he was going to be home last minute. So then we talked about going to San Antonio for a few days. And then he got the phone call that he had to leave town the week before spring break. So that just kind of put everything to... So,
yeah.
We really hung out. We did a lot of laziness too. So
we did too. But you had a food issue. That was Freudian.
I always have a food issue. I want food. Cheese.
Cheese? That's so random.
I love cheese. Cheese is amazing. You know this. You've watched me eat it.
The only cheese that's amazing is the kind in like the deli case. That's special cheese. And the ones that smell like feet, those are the best.
Mm-hmm.
Stinky cheese. Parmesan. I love
Parmesan.
Parmesan
Is amazing.
Dry cheese is my favorite.
Yeah.
How the hell do we get talking about cheese?
Because I love cheese.
Talking about your foot.
That's what the podcast is about now. Welcome to Cheese Hour.
Life under the cheese pile.
That's not, no. I mean, I love cheese, but that's not any good. Yeah, you don't want to live with cheese. So I was a little held up by an injured foot, and we really didn't. But we went out on, what day it was Friday, because it was St. Patty's Day, and then we were going to take the kids jumping.
Yes.
The place that we had paid to go to. That's what we get for paying ahead of time.
I know, right?
Their electricity was out, so then we went somewhere else, and then we had Mexican for St. Patty's Day.
Yes, which is like, what else are you supposed to eat on St. Patrick's Day?
Have we ever gone out to eat together and not had Mexican? I'm trying to remember.
Yes, Panera. Or Pantera bread, as my mom calls it.
Pantera bread. Yeah, it's forever Pantera bread. Yeah, that's it. Oh, we went to IHOP once. That was delicious.
Oh, yes, we did. That was really good. We had breakfast for lunch that day.
Yeah.
So, yes. Most of the time, it's
Mexican.
It's Mexican in some form or another.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I accept it.
I could eat it every day. Every day.
I accept it. So
but your foot's better.
It's not. No, not really.
It's not broken.
It's not broken. I had to have an MRI done, which that was. The thing about the MRI is they kept asking me. So when I went in the doctor originally, I finally gave up. It's been hurting for over a month now, and I finally gave up. I said I'm going to go see a doctor. He did an X-ray in his office. He's like, I think it might be fractured. So he sent me in for an MRI. I've never had one done, and I know the story behind MRIs, and they kept asking me, are you claustrophobic? And I'm like, no, stop asking me that. I'm fine. Besides, you're putting my foot in. What's the big deal? So they put me in the machine, and it's just up to my chest. My head is out. I am freaking the hell out. I need it for it to be done. I'm deep breathing. I'm trying my best not to push that bulb that they give you, because they give you the bulb
You're making me hyperventilate.
Yeah, oh, Jesus. I got out there and I called Matt. I'm like, just so you know, if I ever have to have an MRI, you're going to have to either knock me out or pay for the open ones, because I now know that there's no way you would get me in that machine head first.
I did it, and you're right. Mm-mm. It is the most... even thinking about it now makes me want to vomit. Right. Like, yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, how tight, like, this is not a big deal. It's a huge machine. How tight can this be? Oh, no. I'm like, I couldn't breathe. I felt like the whole thing.
And you know what makes it worse? The fact that you really can't, you could get out if you wanted to get out. Right. But in order to get it done,
and you're not even supposed to move.
There. I know, right?
The whole thing is just, ugh. So, yeah. But that came out clear. So what he thinks it is a...
nerve.
Yes. An inflamed nerve, which I believe $800 ago, when I first walked into his office, I said, I think I pinched a nerve.
Yeah. In your back or in your foot?
My foot.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just on the outer side.
Okay. Because when you hear pinched nerve, typically it's in the back.
Right.
That's why I was like,
right.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, hopefully it'll get better.
So now I am on steroids, but I don't have to have the boot. I don't need to use the crutches.
I know. And that is amazing.
Yeah. So.
Because that boot
And I'm not
sucks.
supposed to baby it. Like, I'm supposed to maintain or manage my pain and walk on it. Like, they don't want me to put it up. They, the only way to make the nerve better is to continue the blood flow and using it and blah, 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 blah.
Right. So, like being sore, you got to work through the soreness.
Right. So.
Well, that's good.
That's exciting.
Even though I have to say I'm slightly disappointed because I really wanted to see Copper roll around on an e-scooter. Like I had to do.
Like drunk rolling. So.
What?
We did see Beauty and the Beast. That was really good.
My mom took the girls, and they loved it.
It was amazing. We splurged and got the fancy seats, so we were all comfy. Sometimes I don't always pay for the fancy seats, but poor Henry has, his little itty short legs. So when you go to the movie theater, he spends a lot of his time trying to keep the seat down. And then he usually says, fuck it, and just gets in my lap. So at least when I get the nice seats.
I have that problem too.
Yeah. No comment, but yes. So, so we had the fancy seats, and we saw it, and it was amazingly done. So I wasn't necessarily sold on her originally as Belle,
right?
But I think she did a great job. So
I love Emma Watson,
and I'm a little disappointed. My kids didn't walk out of the theater gay.
Well, you need.
Nor did they even notice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, enlighten people, because I believe it or not, there are some people who have no clue about the movie.
I know, yeah. So there's this whole thing, and they kind of talked about it when they were promoting it, that there was a gay reference in it, and they didn't go into details. And I've actually known for a while what it was, because I have friends who work media, and they've already seen it like 3 weeks ago, and so they kind of hinted at what was going to happen. Here's a news flash for you. He was kind of gay in the first one.
Yeah. Was it?
So, and it's very minuscule in the whole reference maybe lasts 5 seconds. They're dancing at the end, when they're having the grand ball.
Right.
And so as they're dancing, they're trading partners and everything. And there comes a point in time where LeFou meets up with another guy. They smile at each other. They do a little jig, and then they move on. That's literally it.
Okay, well, his name was LeFou, for one thing. Right. That should have totally tipped people off.
And in the story, and in the original movie, this is this guy that follows around Gaston, worshiping the ground, and walks on. So is it really that shocking to you?
Yeah, I remember that.
And the moving about bestiality, is it really that shocking to you?
Yeah,
that there
right.
was this gay guy? Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
So, I mean, this girl was her options were the beast or this basically domineering, abusive
asshole
guy,
yeah.
Right? So, but your problem is LeFou. So, but getting back on part, not to get too preachy.
Now I'm slightly freaked out. If you really think about it, she fell in love with a some kind of critter.
Like honestly, right? So, I mean, the whole point of that is, looking beyond the cover and seeing the person underneath, blah, 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 blah. But it's just the whole ridiculousness of these people that are, I'm boycotting the movie and the gay agenda. I'm like, there is no gay agenda.
But you want to know something really funny? If you go back and you look at all these 80s shows, these 90s shows, there's so many references to so many things. And little kids just don't really get it.
Right.
Looking back, and I watched all these things. And now that I watch them, I'm like, oh, holy cow, I get it as an adult. Right. But I did not get it as a kid. So, it
was ridiculous. And I don't know, maybe they shouldn't have even brought it up and just let people think what they want, but I don't know. But that being said, it was an amazing movie. We loved it.
Yeah, the girls
I would
loved it,
easily.
too.
It was very tempting for us to turn around, buy tickets, and go back in and see it again.
Really?
So, yeah.
They liked it, too.
But then I mentioned slushies, and we went home instead. So,
Yeah. Home? Why, you have a slushie maker?
no, I just ran through Sonic and went
okay.
home. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, well, good. Now I know where I'm going to send my kids here.
I actually do have an icy maker.
Do you?
A snow cone maker.
We have a shaved ice maker, but I packed
Yeah.
it, so now I know where
you
to
just
come.
have to use mine.
Yeah, I know.
So let's go over social media. That's your gig.
Yes, it is.
You do the spiel so much better than I do.
Oh gosh! All right, guys, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We still have a Pinterest page, and we have a website. And if you want any of those links, if you just go to our Facebook page,
Yeah,
Life Under the
it's-
Laundry
everything's
Pile,
there.
everything's on there.
Okay.
And we love participation.
Yes.
So if you guys ever want to like tell us a topic that you want us to talk about, or give us some constructive criticism, comments, whatever. And I think you guys can even share funnies on our page if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
I think we have that enabled. So feel totally free to share funny stuff on our page. So
Talking about that, I was going to say this at the end, but I'll say it now. We have a call to action for you guys. I'm going to try to have something for you to do. Sorry about the paper wrestling. Heather's going to put up a graphic here pretty quick. We want to do an episode of Ask Copper and Heather Anything. So she's going to put up the graphic, and we'll put it out there on social media. Please respond to it and let us know. Have a question for us? Ask it, and we'll answer it. So, yeah. And then we'll do that as an episode coming up here pretty soon. So
yeah, I'll try to do it the next day or so.
Okay.
I mean, things are kind of crazy for me right now because we actually closed on this house in 2 weeks. But yes, absolutely. Ask us anything.
We can just type it into Facebook. You're the one that always likes the graphics.
I
so
do. Pretties.
You love making your
they
pretties.
catch your
I know.
eye.
I
They
like
catch
doing
your
what makes you
eye.
happy. So that's why I was saying.
But yeah, ask us anything. I mean, shoot, even if you want to just ask us a question on the page, on our Facebook page.
Right. And we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay?
We love that.
Do it.
And it doesn't matter. I mean, I say it doesn't matter. Don't make it too, nasty.
Remember when you ask your questions that Heather's mom does listen religiously.
Oh, my mom's just as dirty-minded as I am.
Don't
so
ask
we're
her
good.
anything that would get her grounded.
Yeah, right. That's right. So, yeah.
Do you want to do shout-outs before we get started?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a really nice, I follow a group, or I'm part of a group on Facebook, as you are too, I think. And it's, I think it's a podcast we listen to.
Yes.
And a really nice, I made a comment in reference to something, and a really nice girl named Stacy P said, "Oh, I know you," pretty much. It's not what she said, but she's like, "I know you. You're from the podcast I listen to," and I'm just like, "That is incredible." So thank you, Stacy P.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
We've had that happen, not a lot. I mean, we're not rolling down a street famous.
Fangirl whenever someone says that I know you.
It's happened a few times recently where someone that's out of our normal circle of friends, we know that Carrie B listens all the time. We know that my sister-in-law listens. We know that your mom's going to listen.
Right.
But these people that we just meet randomly and say, I listen to you.
Yeah, like Crystal.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Crystal.
yes. Which I was going to say, just remind everybody that we adore Crystal over at Middle Years Podcast, and they just put out a new episode, which is really good. So you guys need to go over there and take a look at it. Finish listening to us first, and then go over there, please. And then I also wanted to mention, I was talking about some of the people that I met at the conference, and there are so many that I don't want to say all in one episode. Another person that I met that I've really gotten attached to her podcast is Heather Ash. She's with Happiness Mama, and we'll put a link up to her show. She does these great little 20, 30-minute episodes, and they're all about centering yourself as a mom and finding ways to be happy, and, obviously, Happiness Mama. And she just does a really great job. And what I love about her shows the most is they're just the amount of time it takes for me to get in the shower and then get dressed. So I pop them on, listen to them while I'm getting ready in the morning, and then I'm better for the day. And I'm actually calmer listening to her voice because she's very even-keeled. There's not a lot of wackiness and stuff, so it's kind of nice. So there's that. And then the other one I've been listening to lately is, this one is great. This one is not for the...
it's NSFW.
Yes. These women have come up with this genius idea. They take fan fiction, Harry Potter erotica, and they read it out loud. So they act it out basically on this podcast. It's called the Potterotica podcast, and I am dying every single time I listen to this. It is so funny and awkward and weird, and you're just like, I have to keep listening. What's going to happen next? So, but I had to give them a shout out. I actually personally messaged them because I'm like, I just think that what you're doing is so great. So, but kudos to them too. So check them out with your earbuds in. Do not let your children listen because
much like
it is,
ours.
Yeah,
Much like ours. Let's just be
theirs
honest.
is very. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's very sexual, but it's not in a like a pornographic way. It's just really super. It's like prom night sex awkward. So yeah.
I think it's on my list.
Not that I would know anything about that.
No comment. My mom listens.
I wore white
No
for my
comment.
wedding.
I
so-
wore white to prom. Does that matter?
Apparently not.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry. I mean, I was going to say something. I'm like, no, I won't. Not doing it.
Refrain.
Right. Refrain from saying something.
Yeah.
All right. So this week we are talking about baby fever. We are both.
Yay or
yeah.
nay.
Yeah, we're both in our 40s, and it's kind of getting to that point where...
You mean she's in her 40s. I'm not.
Oh, yeah, you're 30. Shit.
I know. Remember the social experiment?
Yes, I keep forgetting. Sorry.
So, Crystal, you're going to have to help me.
Right. Yeah, Crystal, don't
keep me
call
accountable.
her out on it.
Don't
right.
call me out on it, because we're going to have a social experiment when I move to Tennessee.
Do you want to talk first about baby fever?
You know, it's really funny because we've had this discussion before, like, you know, in different settings.
Right.
And we're clearly on either side of the fence. I'll just let you know that I'm a yay and Copper's a.
And I have my opinion on your yay, but you go ahead and talk. Yeah.
And I actually, after I did a little bit of research yesterday, I kind of formed a different opinion on what I originally thought that I was.
And I think it's probably the same thing I'm going to say.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So,
we're being I'm sorry, we're being cryptic assholes. Why don't we just talk? We're both looking at Lou like, oh yeah, we know what we're talking about. This is a podcast and we're supposed to be sharing our thoughts with you, not just giving each other the look.
Yes. Okay, well, just to put this out there, you know, when you hit your 40s, that does not mean that you cannot, you know, have kids, obviously. Halle Berry had her second kid when she was 46.
Janet Jackson just had a baby.
Yeah, she's like 50.
Yeah.
Susan Sarandon was 47. Tori Spelling, she's like our age, and she just had her fifth kid.
Oh gosh, what's her name?
But it's super, like...
John Travolta's wife, Kelly, is it Kelly Preston?
Yeah.
She was near 50 when she had their last baby too.
Crazy. Yeah. But, I mean, it happens all the time.
Right.
So, you know, used to when you hit our age, you'd be like, oh, well, that factory's done closed.
Granted, we just talked about a bunch of people that, no judgment to them, do what you gotta do, but these are women that literally have the baby bounce back and then hand them off to a nanny. So, but, I mean, that's a completely different,
So, the main reason that I would never have another kid would be the lack of sleep. So, that, if I was rich and famous, I wouldn't have to worry about that shit. Okay, well, I did some research, and it said apparently it's pretty common to have that last urge to have a baby. Okay. It has something to do with premenopause, that awful P word, bitches.
You can't possibly be hitting menopause.
I am not, because I'm 30, but I'm telling you, for you and your friends, that your hormones shift.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it has a lot to do with that, just that one last hurrah. Right. Like, you want that one last baby. And what's really funny is science actually confirmed that baby fever is real, and men even experience it.
Yeah.
Like, it's something in your brain and it's real. And I was like, well, hell yeah, it's real. But I have to tell you, you know how people do like little lists, and they'll say, you know, signs that you're a Libra, or signs that, you know, you're a conservative, or signs that you're, you know, an introvert. Well, I did my own signs. These are signs that you have baby fever. You hear a name and you think that's what you would name your next kid. Stop pointing at my
uterus. Every time you say baby fever, it's like you're subliminally trying to make me, you're like baby fever. Okay, go ahead.
You totally shit on my number one.
What was number one?
My number one was you hear a name and you're like, oh my God, I would name my next kid that. And I'm like, I do that. That is like sign number one that you still have baby fever. Sign number two is you still go down the baby aisle at the store. I do that. I like go look at the cute little baby outfits and stuff like that. And then I look at how expensive that damn formula and the friggin' diapers are.
That's on my list,
I'm like, hell no, I ain't got money for that shit no more. My number 3 was, you get all melancholy when you see baby pics of your kids on Facebook. Oh, I love to see baby pictures of my kids. I do.
I love seeing I look my habit when I get up in the morning is the first thing I always do is I look on this day, that feature on Facebook, which actually, backtracking, today, 6 years ago today, we announced to the world that Henry was on his way.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so,
Happy Henry Day.
Happy Henry Day. We knew for a little while before that because we found out the day that Jackie turned 6 months old that we were going to have Henry, but of course we kept it on the down low for a while. But today was the day, 6 years ago, that we said, we have another one.
Guess what? Henry's on his way.
Apparently, Copper's really bad with math.
Aw, I have to tell Henry Happy Henry Day.
So I really like looking at my kids' pictures. I always like, but it makes me miss them at that age. It doesn't make me want to repeat it. You know what I mean? It does me. Right.
See, I'm both. It makes me so sad that time went so fast. And then I think, man, I love babies. I would love to have another baby. But I don't know. The reality is, the lack of sleep would be enough for me to say, hell no. Hell no. I mean, when my kids were sick a couple of weeks ago and I had one puking every 30 minutes, I had literally like 2 hours of sleep that night.
Right.
And that was eerily reminiscent of being up with a newborn. And I remember getting up that next day saying, fuck this, I would never want to do this shit again.
Right.
So, no, as much as I like to say I have baby fever, I think in reality,
I think
I'd knock myself in the head if I found out I was pregnant.
I think and it's easy to confuse them, like saying I have baby fever and saying I miss my babies. Like
I do, yeah.
It's the feeling is very close. I miss my babies. I really, and especially I think I miss, and we're going off subject here. I get it. I'm sorry. Especially Jackie as a baby, because I often, I had 3 babies in 4 years. You did as well.
Oh, yeah,
Maggie had, she had her time.
Yep.
Henry was born, and I focused on that. Poor Jackie was in the middle.
That's the way Emma was, yeah.
And really I often feel very guilty that she got, Freudian slip, sorry. He got,
less attention.
Not neglected, but less attention.
Absolutely.
We skipped that baby phase with him and often skipped things afterwards because we were so busy keeping a newborn alive.
Oh, I know. You're preaching.
I mean, he was really still a baby. He was 14 months old when Henry was born.
Well, I mean, exactly. I feel that guilt all the time.
I feel like I robbed him, and sometimes I feel very guilty about that. So,
I know. I look back at pictures and I think, because Emma was 4 months old when I got pregnant with Landon, so she was just turned a year.
Mm-hmm.
When we had Landon, and then Landon was 9 months old when I got pregnant with Paige. So I feel like both of them. My saving grace was I had family that was close, and they came down and watched, especially Emma.
Right.
And it's funny because my husband's grandmother watched her so often. She would come to the house and help. She literally talks like her.
Right.
And so it's really funny because, I can see a lot of Mama in Emma.
Right.
But I feel extremely guilty.
Right.
Because I'm like, looking back, you're like, wow, she was a baby and then bam, all of a sudden there was another baby. So time for you to grow up.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And luckily, like the thing is they're so young that, at least we didn't kick them out of their cribs or anything. Like, you had to buy a new one. But getting back to your list, do you want to do my what I miss about babies since you were doing the signs you might have baby fever?
Yeah.
We can kind of go back and forth. I miss baby toes.
Yeah.
And the little clothes.
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
yeah.
I miss like snuggles and naps, like napping with the baby and stuff.
Smelling them.
Yeah.
Their head, they smelled so
good. And I really
good.
miss being pregnant. And we talked about that one too. I really loved being pregnant. It's something I could be pregnant over and over again.
Me too.
And now I'm obviously to the point where no one's going to pick me to be a surrogate, but I would not hesitate to be a surrogate for somebody.
Not with your gimp foot. Please.
I do bed rest really well with this foot, but please, I didn't do bed rest okay last week, so I'm not good at saying still. But I loved being pregnant. Even the bad parts of it were, and I think some of my embracing the bad parts had a lot to do with the fact that we'd had so much trouble getting pregnant.
You appreciate it.
Like I loved throwing up every day because that meant everything was okay.
Yep. No, I agree. Yeah. Totally. I agree totally.
Right.
I loved being pregnant.
Right.
And I had tons of health issues, like life-threatening health issues, but I would totally do it all over again.
I would too.
loved it. And it breaks my heart when I hear people say I hated being pregnant. And I'm like, I don't.
For them, it's not the highlight for them, and that's fine.
There's nothing more miraculous to me. Just that feeling, especially when the baby moved.
Right.
And like literally, you see these videos where the baby's like their elbows and their feet. Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, that is so. But I remember that, So yeah, I agree with you on that one. Definitely.
What I don't miss, the constant poop and vomiting.
Oh yeah, the shit everywhere.
Yeah.
And the shit in the crevices.
And it just, and even like you could, you take all the diapers out to the trash and you still had that smell everywhere. And the dealing with it, like whenever you went anywhere, it was such a, like now when we decide we want to go somewhere, I'm like, get your shoes on. And
no diaper
I'm not
bags.
going to sugarcoat this. Like I have to usually get to the point where I'm like, get your damn shoes on. And I'm yelling it. But I still don't have to pack the diaper bag, make sure I have food, make sure I have plenty of diapers, 3 changes of clothes, because you know they're going to poop and vomit when they get out there.
I have to say, I miss having that damn stroller. It had places for everything. When you went to the mall and you went to the store, you could shove all the shit under the bottom. You didn't have to carry any of that stuff.
I don't do either of those things.
I loved it. I loved having a stroller.
I haven't been to the mall
I used to use my stroller to bring my groceries in. I would still have a stroller to this day and push that bitch to the mall if people wouldn't look at me like I was crazy. Hey, wait, they make those babies that look real.
Oh my God, don't bring up those babies.
I am going to buy a stroller
creepy.
and put one of those fake ass babies in it so I don't have to carry that purse
If you buy
anymore.
one of those fake ass babies, we're done. I cannot handle. No,
that's my new mission.
So creepy.
I'm going to move to Tennessee and get a fake ass baby and pretend I'm 30. What? Social experiment of the year, bitch.
So can we get back to the list?
I
don't even want to look at you now that you're going to buy a fake baby.
Now I'm like hyper focused on that.
This is like a Lifetime movie just waiting to happen.
I'm hyper focused. That's like I'm gonna do it.
It's gonna happen now.
It is.
I don't miss the cost.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the damn formula and the diapers.
Yeah.
That shit is so expensive.
Yeah.
Like, when Aubrey was little, her formula was $22 a can, and that was like 15 years ago.
Right.
I just remember, holy cow.
Well, with having more than one child in diapers, like we would go to Target, spend $200, and not have anything but diapers and formula.
I got to the point where I kept one size.
Sorry, Sam's. Yeah.
One size diaper. I slapped it on all 3 of them.
Yep. The boys. Henry caught up with Jack about just shy of a year. So we had about a year and a half of they both wore the same size diapers.
Oh yeah,
so,
mine too. Right. Totally. And that was so nice. I would
but
just go buy.
It still cost you the same.
Yeah,
so
it
doesn't change the price of it. You just had, you bought 2 of the same size instead of 2 of different sizes. But
I was super guilty though. I would literally let them waddle around with the duck butt. I was exhausted.
My kids had such sensitive skin that if they peed, it had to come off. All 3 of them. They're going to kill me for telling you that, but
I was utterly exhausted, and I was like, "Yeah, you got about another 2 hours in that diaper. We're good.
I am guilty of once or twice ignoring the smell coming from them because I knew Matt was going to be home in 20 minutes.
And the butt sniff, man.
Yeah.
The butt sniff. Yeah, I agree. I totally ignored it many times.
All right, signs you don't have baby fever.
Hey, okay, these are my signs you don't have baby fever. You get that evil Cruella DeVille laugh when you see a baby commercial. You're like, you dumb bitch.
Or when someone else announces they're pregnant, you're like, suckers.
You do it good. Maybe I should have scratched through and said copper yanger laugh. Oh. Okay, another sign that you don't have baby fever, not sleeping for months sounds like hell on earth to you. Right. And it does. Oh, dear God. No sleep for months just makes me want to poke my eyeballs out.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. So that's probably, I'm like in the middle of the road. All right, and number 3 is you realize you could not live without wine for 9 months. Or any liquor, insert liquor here.
Right.
So I think if you have those 3 signs, then you pretty much are done.
Right.
No more kids. So, I don't know. So after I did my 2 lists, I realized I probably love the idea of babies.
And that's what I think. I think that you love babies. Not my own. But I think that honestly,
I can give it back.
Yeah.
Grandbabies. And I think that's why nature gives you grandbabies.
Exactly.
But I have a long time before that's going to happen because I'm only 30. So you'll have to tell me how it goes first. She just flipped me off in case you couldn't see that.
I just really quick had to write, like, what I love about being done with babies is the freedom.
Amen.
So the freedom for everything. Like, it's easier to go to the store. It's easier to
take a nap.
I'm at the point where my kids, I can say, how about you play Wii
Give me
U
20
for...
minutes.
Okay, I'm more of an hour, but I don't take your power naps. Those things are just frustrating. But I can close my eyes and not have to, I'm not taking care of a baby. There's no, like...
It's not the baby's schedule.
I own my own time and I own my own space. Like, my house isn't overran by baby crap anymore.
No, I totally get that.
And I can look at that stuff and I'm like, it's cute at the store, but I don't want that in my living room.
Yeah.
That's how I know I'm done. Like, I don't want that. I'm this close to not having car seats in my car. Yeah. So no way could you pay me to start over with that again.
Yeah.
When I open my trunk of the van and there's no stroller in there, I actually sigh. I'm like, look at all that space. I don't have to, like, balance my groceries on top of the stroller.
Well, I'm going to be using my stroller to carry my groceries in the house.
I'm starting to be concerned about your mental health, but we'll talk about that.
I even have names picked out, remember?
And we're done. Like, I have to take her to the hospital now. I enjoy my kids as they grow up. Like, I tell them all the time, I really...
You're not such a little asshole.
Right. Like, I really enjoy seeing them. Jackie's learning to read right now, and as painful as sometimes that can be... I love it. I love seeing them grow up and become little adults versus these little pooping machines. So
yeah, very true.
And then on that accord, less poop on most days. So, and then I love the concept of moving on to the next step of life. Like, I mean, moving on to where my children have grown up a little bit and taking care of themselves and being more of a family versus this adult taking care of a baby. I mean, like, when you have a baby in your home, you are a family. However, you're still at the table and you have this little human being that gives you nothing back other than the occasional giggle. Baby giggles are awesome.
They give you lots of shits and vomit.
Yeah, exactly. But now, like, my kids, they tell me they love me.
Yeah.
They tell me how good dinner is. Or, I mean, 2 out of the 3 tell me how good dinner is. Henry is usually bitching in his room. So... But you know what I mean? Like, and then, watching them get hobbies and what they're interested in. I really like this step of life. Well, I'm enjoying it. So I think I really, as much as I loved my babies, I'm enjoying this part a lot more than I enjoyed that first year of life. So.
Yeah, I definitely don't miss that.
And I sure shit do not miss the toddler years. That crap is exhausting.
Yes, it is. So I guess that begs the question, now that we've talked about this, baby fever, yay or nay? What are you?
Nay, absolutely. My factory's shut. I don't mourn. I occasionally, and it becomes less and less as it goes along, I occasionally mourn not baby so much, but the process of, like, pregnancy and giving birth. And I mourn that. I mourn that I'm never going to have that with my kids again. But I also... know that I can look forward and know that I'm going to have an even better job in the future, not near future, but way down the line of being a grandma instead.
And
so,
you can give them back.
Right.
You can give them back. Ah.
Unless they want to leave them with me on the weekends, and I'll take care of them while they do whatever. I don't.
And
care.
then you can still give them back.
Yeah, they go back.
That's
on
what's
weekdays.
nice.
Yeah, but they can always stay with me whenever they want to.
Yeah.
Okay, so for you,
I still have to say I lean more towards yay. I do. I don't know why. But I definitely, like, you're very, like,
I'm
certain.
done. Yeah, I'm done.
And I'm just not. Like, I'm not, like, I would be fine if, obviously I'm fine because there are no more babies.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, like, if you found out tomorrow you're pregnant, what would you do?
I'd be happy. I'm just not going to actively yearn for it. I'm not actively trying for it.
Right.
Here's the thing. We tried for so long to have children, and we have so many losses under our belt. I would never look that horse in the mouth. Like,
no,
I mean, that
totally,
would be,
yeah.
I'm always grateful for that. But, we were done at 2. We had decided we were complete, and Henry happened, and I never once did I ever regret that. And I wouldn't now. I mean, it's not... Medically, it can't happen now. We have taken care of that. Like, we've, literally welded both doors shut. So there's no way anyone's getting into the factory. But if it was to happen tomorrow, absolutely. Yeah. I would do it with open arms. But I certainly do not search it out, and I don't yearn for it. So.
Yeah. See, our factories are still open.
Yeah.
Of course, because I'm only 30.
Yeah, you don't want to shut them now. I mean,
no, I still have 20 more years. So, yeah. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm more on the yay than... So, there's a little bit of a yay and a definite nay.
Right. And we're going to post a link to the article I talked about briefly earlier about, the difference between... the confusion between baby fever and actually really just missing the time you spent with your children when they were babies, and how it's a pretty common, the common confusion between the two. So I have to find it.
Okay,
first.
Yeah, that way I can throw it up.
Because I've seen it 14 different times, and then this morning when I went looking for it, I couldn't find it at all.
Oh, okay.
But, some of that is the fact that when I go looking online, you know what I do. Like, I start looking for the article, and then something shiny happens over here. And then when she came over, I had 5 tabs open, and 2 of them was Amazon. So, yeah, it's like the rabbit hole. It's very easy for me to fall under the rabbit hole. So I will
5
focus.
tabs? That's all you had open?
Well, I had
amateur.
The 2 windows. So I had others open on the other 2. And plus I closed a couple out because I wanted to look like I hadn't,
your shit together?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. There's no shame in my game. I usually have 15 tabs in both windows open. To the point where it freezes my computer, and I'm like, and the computer's like, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
Shut this stuff down.
So, all right. So that wraps up this week. Let us know if you've got baby fever or not. Yeah. I guess. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby fever, yay or nay? And don't forget, ask us a question.
Yes. So, yeah, make sure that you go onto Facebook, or if you even want to privately message us instead.
Yeah, if you want to be anonymous.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. That's a good idea.
You can always do that too, and you can.
And
always
we won't say your name if you say, don't say my name.
Well, then, what would you be asking us that you wouldn't want us to?
I know, right? And then we got to say it online.
Yeah.
I mean, online. Good Lord. Ugh. You know what I'm talking about. Online.
On the show?
No, I don't sit in chat rooms. This is not 1990. I'm not on AOL.
Oh, I miss chat rooms.
Ew. Chat rooms. They were kind of creepy.
They're very
Actually,
creepy.
if you think about it.
Yeah.
Ew.
Well, because every other person on there just wanted to talk about his penis.
Oh, no thank you.
Exactly. So, all right. Just a reminder that you can find Heather on her Instagram account. That's her lovely little home right now. And did you change it yet or no?
I did not.
Okay.
It's still Boudreaux H72. But yeah. And I'm still on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I still have Twitter and Instagram.
So you can see what she's doing over there. And you can find me at Never Drink From Mommy's Cup on all those sites as well. Anything else?
I think that was it.
All right. Next week we're going to be talking. By the way, take a step back. This was number 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hit the quarter life crisis mark.
Cheers.
We're middle-aged women when we're dinging our Yetis
water,
together.
our Yeti waters.
Oh, Lord. No, I'm sorry, not middle-aged. One younger woman to one middle-aged woman. This is going to take a lot of work. I'm going to have to really remind myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay, so next week we're going to be talking about lowered expectations, 5 signs that you have given up on life. All right.
Can I have more than 5 signs?
Yeah.
Good.
Because I got a shit ton.
Okay,
so,
good.
Yeah. All right. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you back here next.
Bye, guys.
Bye.